This video is about a slight modification of queen rearing and the demery system that's used to raise a small number of queens for your apiary. So one of the ways to do that is to split the colony, and what you end up happening is that you have the queen, you have to find the queen, you have to find a frame with eggs and larvae, and you have to get the nurse bees to come up. Well, using the upstairs downstairs entrance, what I do is I've got the queen in the brood box where she is, and I can see that it's becoming quite populated, quite crowded, and potentially there may be the start of some queen cells, so the development of the queen cup into a larger queen cell. This tends to be a moment of panic for many beekeepers, particularly novice beekeepers. And it's really quite simple to work around, because what you do is you want to create a situation where you are decongesting again the brood box. So all we do is we take the frame with some brood larvae, and if you have the beginnings of a queen cell, you take those frames, you take about 3 or 4 frames, and you take them out. You can leave the queen in here if you can find her. She can stay in there. You put a queen excluder underneath here, you put your honey super up here, and you put your new brood box with entrances up here and the frames of brood and your queen cell up at the top. What that does is it draws the nurse bees all the way up to cover the top brood box and to cover the majority of the brood. You can provide some feeding, 1-to-1 syrup, for any frames that you may have replaced at the bottom, so that the bees can draw out. They'll be the older bees, they can draw frames out at the bottom, and you can just leave the box at the top alone. The queen cells will develop. You can either take, if there are 3 or 4, you can take some out and just leave 1 or 2. But the beauty of this is that you can just remove the entrance block. The queen will go out and mate from your top box, and you end up with 2 queens in the same colony, divided of course by the honey super and the queen excluders. So this is a really unique way of creating quite a populous colony and not having to worry about splitting it, shaking bees out, putting it into another hive. When the queen is mated and you've got eggs, you can close the entrance up, move it away, use a ventilated plug, move it to the side, leave it for 3 days, and you will have a colony with a daughter from the mother that's still in the brood box underneath.